So today I will show you guys how to properly, professionally change a windshield. Working on this Ford Fiesta, and it's basically the same concept for most vehicles. There are some changes based on the vehicle and removing different types of wiper blades, cowls, things like that. However, this is kind of a basic idea of how to do it properly in general. So if you're looking into getting into the windshield business, or you're just want to do it as a hobby, you want to remove and install a windshield on your own for a project car or a personal vehicle, hopefully this video helps. And if it does, please hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, because that's why I'm doing it. So first things first, there's a new windshield. Here's the Ford Fiesta. There's a broken windshield. We got to make sure that it's nice and warm. Don't work on it cold, because the urethane that holds it in is going to be rock hard. So warm up the car. I got the heat cranked. It's cold outside today, so just pulled it in, got the heat crank. I'm going to let it sit for about 10 minutes and start removing the cowl, the wiper blades, and all that stuff. If you try and remove the cowl or the windshield when it's cold, first of all, anything plastic when it's cold is brittle. So it's going to want to crack on you. It's going to want to break immediately. Don't do it. Don't risk breaking anything. Warm it up, then it has some flexibility, and you're not going to break anything when you're doing it properly. Especially clips. The clips that hold things in, if they're cold, man, that shit's just going to explode. It's just like, it hates the cold. It's dying to get out of the cold. So you touch it and it's cold, it's just like boom, gone, broken. So don't break it. Don't break anything. Seriously, just warm it up, okay? We all like the warmth. So let it warm up, and we're going to move on to step 2. I'm a little too tall for this view. That's okay, I can crouch. Okay, so the windshield is now warmed up, and it's even temperature throughout, and the plastic is also warm, so we're ready to work. First thing, remove the wiper blades. So remove the caps. Remove the nuts. Okay, now, how you want to remove the wiper blade is you don't just pull up on it, because you can break the arm very easily. So you actually push down, nice gentle motions, push down, and then gently push up. So you want to go up and down, and you actually break it loose. Nice and easy, and it pops right off. You just yank up, it's gonna break. Down, down, up, down, up, down. Nice and gentle. And you can feel it. Boom. Cracks loose. Because this here will sometimes corrode on the shaft, and it really kind of like welds itself on. So that's how you remove it every time. If they're giving you a really hard time, I will make another video to show you how to remove any wiper blade as terribly seized on there as it is. So subscribe. Now, once I remove the wiper blades, I gently place them underneath the vehicle and in the order of which I remove them. That way, I'm not accidentally stepping on it, and I know where they are every time. So it's the same system every time. Next, we remove the wiper cowl. Now they're all going to be a little different. So you just kind of have to learn with experience how they go on and how they come off. Typically there's some clips. On this one here, there's some clips up in the front here. So I remove that with my pry tool. You don't want to break anything, so don't force things. There we go, all the clips are off. Now, gently pull up and back. And off comes the cowl. Tuck it away under the vehicle, that way you're not stepping on it, it's not in your way, and you know where it is every time. Now we can shut the hood. So just like that, step 2 is complete. Okay, so we're on to step 3. But before I start, as you noticed, the camera's a little bit higher now. I don't need to crouch down. I'm like 6'5", and the camera is above me right now. And the camera I'm using is an iPhone 7 Plus. I just got it. And literally, I went to grab it to reposition and I dropped it onto the cement ground, almost from about 7 foot high, straight down. I kind of broke one of the buttons, I think. It's terribly damaged, but the screen's okay, and my heart is still pounding. Andrew, if you're watching this video, I really need a case. Anyway, moving on. Step number 3. Remove the trims around the windshield. So this isn't always step number 3. Sometimes you need to actually remove the windshield with the trims on it to save and reuse the trim. Other times the trim is made out of metal and you cannot remove it, so you leave it on and dispose it with the windshield. But in this case, the trim is holding the windshield, sorry, not holding, but it's in the way of the windshield coming out. It's 2 plastic trims on each side, and they're clipped in. They need to get out of the way so we can pop the windshield out. So this is step number 3. Now, how I'm doing this, since I'm removing it, I'm prying it from the glass side and not the body side. I'm using my metal tool. If I had to put any kind of prying or pressure on the body side, only use a plastic tool or the metal one will scratch the paint. And also, even when you're using the plastic tool, put tape along the pillar so there's no chance of any scratches or damage. Don't ever pry down on it, you'll dent it. So in this case, I'm running the pry tool along, and I can feel, like here it's soft, and then there's some tension right here, so I know that there's a clip there. Then I gently pry up. So tension, pry up. Tension, pry up. Tension, pry up. And off it comes perfectly. Once again, nicely under the vehicle. Now we'll do this side. Gentle pry up, pry up. If you pry where it's not under tension, you're going to put a kink or you're going to break the trim piece. Because you only want to pry where the clips are. And I'll show you the back side. So you can see those tabs. I'm bringing this where the tab is and prying right there, release. Slide, pry, release. If you pry here, you're gonna bend and break the pieces. That's how you remove these ones. Some of them, you don't pry, you need to actually go in there and release the clips. But this specific one, that's how you do it. That's it for step number 3. Moving on to step number 4. We're done with the outside of the vehicle. As for removing stuff, I was gonna say shit, but you know, sometimes it's not appropriate to use that kind of language. Stuff. So now we're gonna move on to the inside of the windshield. What's on the inside? Possibly a rain sensor, GPS sensor, or a mirror. Whatever's on there, it needs to come off. So in this case, we have a GPS sensor and we have a mirror. So I'm gonna go inside and pop those off. Okay, mirrors off, GPS sensors off. So a lot of mirrors are removed in different ways. And I can make a separate video for how to remove all kinds of mirrors because you don't want to do it wrong. What you'll do, like this is a Ford, if you remove this mirror in the wrong fashion, when you go to put the mirror back, you would have damaged the clip that goes onto the windshield, the clip on the mirror. So it's always going to shake around. So the customer grabs it, starts driving away, and the mirror is just going like this. And they'll come back. You don't want anybody to come back. So it's too much to explain in this video. I'm going to make a whole separate video on how to remove windshield mirrors. That's it. Step number 4 is done. Now the glass is ready to be cut out. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do it on this one. I just readjusted the camera. I'm so scared now every time. Okay, step number 5, I think. Actually removing the windshield. Now, this is one of those things where, based on the situation, there's different ways to do it. In this situation right here, we're going to cut it out from the outside of the vehicle, and we're going to use hand tools. So, first things first, we want to lubricate the outside of the edges. So, let's get some lube. Just looking for my lube. Okay. I'm just using some water. That's it. There's just water in here. Spraying it all over. You want to get it in the edges. That'll make your knife slide nice all throughout there. Don't worry about the bottom. That we got to cut from the inside. Right here. Nice and wet. Hand tools, okay? We got 2 of them. This one, slightly shorter than this blade. So, and on certain vehicles, you want to start with an even shorter one. You want to do like 3. This one, I think I'll be okay with just the 2 by starting with this size. Pay attention to this part. It's a little difficult. If you're new, I recommend taping the edges, especially over here, right here, because when you bring your knife down, it could slip and you now scratch their fender. Man, you're screwed, you scratched your fender, what are you doing? You know, like, don't do it, don't do it. Put some tape, like 3, 4, 5 layers of tape. That way if you accidentally slip, it can happen. You're okay. You may have scratched the tape, but that's it. The fender's good, the paint's good. You have nothing to worry about. And also the top edges. Anywhere where you're at the end of the streak and it can slip. Because what happens There's urethane here, 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 and then the urethane takes a turn this way, doesn't go straight to the edge. So you're coming down, and all of a sudden there's no urethane there, but you're like pulling, and then there's nothing there, so it's like, ugh, and then you scratch the car, right? If you're experienced, you may not need to do this. That's an awesome tip. Pay attention to my tips. I'm telling you, I'm gonna help you guys. Oh my God. Okay, I'm 6'5". The camera, it's so high right now, and I have no idea if this thing's gonna fall. Brand new iPhone 7 Plus. I'm taking a risk for you guys. Why? I want you to learn. If this is helpful for somebody, okay, I'm risking my brand new phone to help somebody. Give me a thumbs up at least. Okay, so I know I'm trying to do a windshield here, but you guys just have to see my mount. Like, this is terrible. I'm still new to this. So I have this like little flimsy rack, and then this little like clip-on thing, and then this thing holds the phone, and it keeps falling off, and this is what I'm doing. I think we're still on part number 5, which is removing the glass. So I'm a little nervous right now because of the camera being so high. I just don't trust the mount. It's already tried to fall 3 times. Okay, moving on. I will risk it for your knowledge. So, this is the other option, the extractor. So, use this wisely. This can just destroy a dashboard if you don't use it properly. But if you do, it's actually an amazing tool, and it makes things very quick and easy. Do not scratch the body with this. As you noticed, I used my hand tool around the outside. I didn't just grab this, go inside the car and chop the whole glass out, because then we're gonna mark everything up, and quality is not marking things up. Quality is making things nice, not damaging shit. So don't be lazy and try and rip things out quickly to make a fast buck and start scratching people's shit, and then you're just like, what? Oh, well, I can cover it up. The molding's there. They're not gonna see it. No, don't do that. Who are you to do that? You think you're gonna do that? You're not doing that. I'm not doing that. You're not doing that. We're gonna do quality. We're gonna do it together. People are gonna be happy, even though they can't see behind the scenes that we've actually taken our time to do things right. We can sleep at night knowing, hey, we're the king of this shit. We're doing it properly, we're doing it right, and we're doing it, I don't have another word, but you get the point. Okay. I'm gonna use this. Spraying the water down at the edge of the glass. Do not do this if there's a speaker there, and do not get water on the side pillars if they're fabric material. If they're hard plastic, it's okay. If there's fabric on them, you can stain it, or you could release the glue that holds that fabric on by wetting it, especially on BMW, so don't get it wet. Okay, here we go. That should cut most of this side off. Then we're going to go to the other side. Now, when you finish cutting that side, this is now extremely hot. So don't place it on any plastic inside the car or in the seats or anything. Make sure that the blade is placed where it doesn't touch anything, or you'll damage their vehicle. see, grab it, lift, and up. There we go.